Chip strategy? How hard can it be?
What's that? Yeah, I'll be there in 5. I've just got to do some stuff on FPL chip strategy. Won't take 5 minutes. I'll be done in a sec. Just give me a minute. Right. Nice and easy. Let's get this done. Run a jiffy. Right. So you free hit in 27. And then you do you free hit in 30. Well, that seems simple enough. Or if you've only got one free hit, you've got the double in 26. Maybe that's not such a good idea. Well, obviously you wild card in 24, don't you? Because then you get the bench boost in game week 25. So that's obvious. Yeah, but what if there's more game weeks after that? Double game weeks? Can't. Yeah. That won't work, is it? Right, so that's game week 30, but then the Euro Champions League. So I could free hit then, but who do I captain? If I want to use triple captain, I can't use 3 chips. Yes, that's no because of that. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I've got a free hit in 30 though, so we'll save the free hit wins the double game week. Right, let's go through it one more time then. Wildcard in 24, you bench boost in 25, you free hit in 27, and you free hit in 30, getting rid of those FA Cup blanks. It's not that complicated. Triple captain.
Hi fantasy managers and welcome to FPL Team Talk. So in this video we're going to have a look at chip strategy, we're going to have a look at wildcards, we're going to have a look at free hits, when's the best time to use them, best captaincy for triple captain, having a look at bench boost. We're going to go through all those in the next 15 game weeks. We've got to use them or lose them. We're going to look at the best times, the possibilities of when to do things, all that good stuff. So don't forget, hit that like button. Click on the subscribe if you're new around here. We're going to take you through the rest of the season and the best strategies. Keep up to date with the latest content. Let's have a look at it. Let's go through all the chips then that we could possibly play. You might have 2 free hits left. We got an extra one, of course. We have the wild card, whether you used it or not. Bench boost and triple captain. Those are all the different types of chips available to us as FPL managers. We have only 15 FPL game weeks left. That's not many, and this is going to be a crucial defining period. These next 15 weeks could be the difference in you winning your mini leagues, getting a much better overall rank. I really feel that these next 15 weeks are make or break. Everything comes together. We've got the transfer market having come, the window closes, we've got relegation, Champions League trophies all up for grabs, double game weeks to fit in, blank weeks that are going to happen for various reasons, and we'll go through them all. But if you can get this right, if you can nail a good strategy, make good decisions with informed statistics, then you really could benefit. Your mini league rivals won't have that benefit. They'll be taking hits left, right and centre. You'll be optimising all your options. You will have such an advantage. So we're here to guide you through that. 5 chips you could possibly have then. You may only have a couple left, 1 left. We'll go through the strategies for each one of them. Remember though guys, ground rules. You cannot use 2 chips in 1 week. You can't wildcard and use a bench boost. That would be nice. You cannot use 2 free hits back to back either for various reasons. We think that maybe the mechanics of the game can't cope with a free hit and then you do it the next week. It goes back to your previous team. Well, if that was a free hit as well, that can't happen. So you can't use free hits back to back. So don't get to the last 2 game weeks thinking I'm going to free hit them 2, take a wild, swing at them, That can't happen. You would have lost one of them. It just will not let you do it. So don't forget those basic ground rules. Right, what do we know so far for the rest of the season? We know the EFL Cup finals in game week 27. Chelsea will play Liverpool. Arsenal and Leicester will blank that week as well. So we know that. We've got to prepare and start to take advantage of that. We also know the FA Cup quarter-finals are in game week 30, the semi-finals are in 33 and the finals in 37. There's going to be lots of blanks scattered all around those and games being rearranged left, right and centres. We know game week 30 is going to be a big blank. We've still got round 4 to play, and then there'll be this sort of the draw for round 5, so we're not quite sure who will miss. At the moment, only one fixture survives, and that's Villa versus Arsenal because they're both out. So potentially you could have a game week with one in. It's unlikely it's only going to be one, but my guess is it will only end up being 4 or 5 fixtures. That's going to be a huge moment in the season if you're not prepared for it. Harder to postpone as well, so there may be postponements. What we do know is now that AFCON will have finished by the end game week 24 starts, so less likely for teams to be able to postpone because they'll have more players available. Also, the COVID rules have changed. It's now 4 positive tests to get a postponement or to take into consideration of COVID. So I'm not saying that there won't be postponements, but it is much harder now. Hopefully we won't get postponements happening. Can't say that for sure. We just don't know what's going to happen. So those are the things we do know. What don't we know? We don't know when the double game weeks are going to be. We just don't know. We know Man U, Brighton's been slipped into 25. We just don't know anything else. Which teams will blank? We don't know that yet either. We don't know how many more postponements there's going to be. So we just don't know. There's so many things out of our control that we don't know at the moment. First things first then, free hit. The most obvious thing I think is game week 30. I don't think there's any other way around it. I think you're going to have to free hit in game week 30. I'm going to be planning that week is just a game week free hit. FA Cup quarterfinals take place in there. That will involve 8 teams. At the moment, all of these teams are still in action. All these fixtures are on the back burner and at jeopardy. Looking at the fixtures for game round 4, I think you've got Tottenham versus Brighton, Wolves versus Norwich. They're the only 2 Premiership classes. A lot of the other games look winnable, but as we know in the FA Cup, anything can happen. But Villa and Arsenal, only one survives. So currently, that's the only game that's going to go ahead in game week 30. You would expect a few of those other sides to still be knocked out. They will be surprised they'll be drawn against each other in game week in FA Cup round 5. Which ones are 5? It's just impossible to know. But I am absolutely for sure going to have to free hit in game week 30. That's how I am strategizing at the moment. I think that is the most obvious, the most clear time that we're going to have to free hit. Game week 30. If you've only got 1 free hit, I think and would widely recommend that you certainly save it for game week 30. If you've got 2, if you've got 1, then you're going to have to think about how you're going to get around this game week 30, and it will become clearer from game week 27-28 when those fixtures are played and the draw is made. Okay, 27, do you free hit? That's the other choice. It's the EFL Cup final between Chelsea and Liverpool. We know that Arsenal and Leicester also blank. So if you've got 2 free hits, I think 27 is potentially another time to do it. Highly owned assets, you might have Liverpool assets. We're all going to have a couple of assets like Trent, Jota, Salah definitely. So we're going to lose out. You might have Arsenal's Martinelli, Ramsdale for instance. People got Ben White in there, Saka. So they'll be gone as well. You might struggle to get 11 players out. On top of that, Man City away. Everton, is that a very good fixture? You're just not sure what Everton's going to produce. New management. West Ham, we're all going to have a few West Ham assets you would imagine as well. With Bowen on fire, the likes of Antonio still on our sides. They're owned Wolves who don't concede many. So on top of the fact that you've got a few players that are highly owned in Liverpool assets and in your Arsenal assets, you possibly could have the likes of Man City and West Ham having tough fixtures. So where are the points going to come from? So that might be a good reason to jump off of that, go into a free hit situation. If you were, who would you target? Got that Man U Watford game, that Leeds Tottenham game looked like the 2 games you would target as well. And apart from that, unless there's a double game week thrown in, maybe you're looking at still Aston Villa, Brighton, Southampton at home to Norwich could be a high scoring, or a game for someone like Brozier to come in. Difficult to know. I mean, Brentford, Newcastle, don't know what sort of state Newcastle, how strong they're going to be with reinforcements. You could even, I mean, we've said it's a tough game, Man City Everton. Nearer the time, is it still a game to target Man City for? You'd say they can beat anyone, so possibly you would end up doing that as well. But these are the reasons why you might want a free hit if you do have 2 for game week 27. The other possibilities, which I am leaning towards, is don't have free hit in 27. Save one of your free hits for 30, especially if that's your only one. If you've got 2, then save it for other opportunities. There's flexibility between game week 33 and 37, which will also have blanks, so I can save my free hit for those two. I can take advantage of any other double game weeks, and is that currently 18 games to be rearranged. That's just through COVID and lack of availability. That's not including any of the games that are going to be shelved or put aside because of FA Cup games. So that's a lot of games. That's at least 15 game weeks left, a double game week every week. Some weeks are going to be packed full of doubles. So if I save my free hit and negotiate 27, I can really take advantage and look for an opportunity within all those double game weeks to play my free hit then. I like that idea. We've all got players like Trent, Jota, Salah. Are you going to be able to get 11 players out for game week 27 is the query. You could transfer your way out. You could take hits to get there. The other thing I'd like to say is we're all going to have these assets because game week 25 and 26 just look so juicy. Burnley and Norwich for those Liverpool players. But that's going to give us a headache for game week 27. But we're all going to be in that boat. Beyond game week 27, they have the FA Cup in midweek. Then they've got West Ham at home. That's not going to be easy. Porto in the Champions League. Then Brighton away, don't concede many. Then that Manchester United fixture at home. They are tighter. You might not be impressed with them, but they are looking a little bit more tighter than they were, but we know what Liverpool did to Manchester United at Old Trafford earlier on the season. But the point this graphic's I think going to tell you is that if you take hits, take those Liverpool players out, possibly you could get away with it because you might not necessarily bring them back in. Could you get away with not owning a Trent, a Jota for West Ham fixture, Brighton fixture and Man U? I'm just saying, if you could take them out, get enough players for game week 27 and not bring them back in. That just reduces the amounts of hits you're going to take. If you're happy to take the Liverpool players out, you might not necessarily need to bring them in. That will allow you to get 11 players for game week 27. That's a possibility. The other possibility, which I warmed to, I looked into it, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. You could wildcard in 27. Get rid of those Liverpool assets. Maybe hold on to a Salah. I don't think I'd like to go without Salah for the rest of the season. But just bring in Salah and then right through to game week 30, where again I could be free hitting anyway, and then I can bring in some of those Liverpool assets again after that where the fixtures are slightly better. Game week 27, therefore, you save your free hit, you get through 27, does look a bit more appealing. The other good thing about the wildcard for game week 27 is no one's going to have those Chelsea assets because they're blanking in 24, 25, got the fixture away at Crystal Palace, then another blank in 27. After that, their fixture really swings. Look at those fixtures, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, all green fixtures. You couldn't really pick a better set of fixtures for Chelsea. So if you wildcard in 27, you would have to put them on the bench. But if you're wildcard in 27, I'd feel fairly confident you're going to pick 11 players that are going to manage to get out onto the pitch because you do it and wait for the press conferences. Then you would know I can put 2 Chelsea assets on the bench. It may be a Reece James if he's back in. You might want to mount a Rudiger and a Reece James doubling up if you're confident on that Chelsea defence. Put a Salah in as well. Suddenly, to get advantage of all of those fixtures, no one else could possibly bring as many Chelsea assets in because they could be a differentials because no one's going to have brought them in for the full game weeks previously. That looks really, really tempting. And that's the way I've been kind of swaying at the moment. The wildcard in 27, free hit 30. I wonder if you could even get away without it. We'll have to see nearer the time. I don't think there's going to be a situation where you couldn't. And that Norwich game in 30 would possibly be rearranged. They've obviously got games to rearrange because of these blank fixtures. So Chelsea not only going to get more fixtures, but they've just got great fixtures in there as well. So free hit 30, I think is definitely an option. Manchester City, you're looking at wildcard. Again, do you move off those Man City assets? They've got Everton away in 27. Not easy. Then they've got the FA Cup. Man U at home, big game. Porto at home. Crystal Palace away. Again, not easy. And I'm looking at that is quite a congested fixture list. In 3 game weeks, they've got the 5 games. Rotation could possibly play a part. Which City assets is suddenly going to have? De Bruyne hasn't got a full season under his belt. So even maybe he's not going to be nailed on. Look, the likes of Laporte and Diaz are still rotational risks. Even though they are playing 80% of the games. Possibly Cancelo's the only one you could trust. But will he be able to get through all of these fixtures without having some sort of rest? So straight away, I suddenly start to wonder about the Man City assets. So wildcard 27 would allow me maybe to move off some of those. I don't know. It's a consideration. Again, we'll get more information in time. But I am warming towards that wildcard in 27. So, free hit game week 30. Absolutely, I think at the moment. Looking at possibly wildcard activation in 27. I like the idea more and more. I hadn't really considered it Had even thought about it doing in Gameweek24 this week. But the more I look at these fixtures, and especially that Chelsea fixture swing and the blank, I'll cover it both in Gameweek27. I'm warming to it. Looking at things like triple captain, then there's going to be lots of double game weeks. I am not planning at the moment on knowing when to use it. I think that Liverpool-Leeds game, of all the postponements so far, looking through all of them, that Liverpool-Leeds one stands out. If Liverpool-Leeds gets put into another game week, possibly Norwich later on in the season, Salah becomes an absolute standout triple captaincy for me. I'm not so sure I would want to put any other player other than Salah on that triple captain. I'm genuinely unsure. Maybe a Kane if he gets two, but even here I'm unconvinced. And I certainly wouldn't be putting a triple captain on someone who is not playing a double game week. The two opportunities to get Salah, with Leeds being at home, one of them, looks too good to be true. And I feel like it's a bit template. I feel like it's not very differential. But do you know what? I think it's still the right call. Sometimes you just got to put that to one side. Is it the right thing to do? Is it the sensible thing to do? Is it going to optimise the points? I think yes to all those answers. It's the answer to all those questions. Free hit then. If you have one after game week 30, possibly game week 33, possibly 37, I just love the idea that you can stay flexible. Game weeks, there still might be teams that will postpone. Double game weeks coming in now. I think free hit looks like a good option for those two, but just the flexibility I love as well. Bench boost, whenever you're wildcarding, I think these fixtures will be after 27. Again, absolute option. Bench boost, get your team absolutely set with 15 playing players, and I think the following week is just the time to play that bench boost. It's probably the optimal time and the best opportunity to make sure that all your players are playing a week after you don't. Remember, you can't do it the same week, sadly. So wildcard, other option, if your team is in absolute dire straits, I'm not saying wildcard on 27. Yep, I would sooner wildcard now. Put your team to a much better position. Have a look at a previous video on wildcard we did for Game Week 24. If people want me to, I can put a more up-to-date one with the transfers coming in. But wildcard, I think if your team needs a surgery, if you're struggling for players, absolutely no reason why you shouldn't do it now, sooner than later. I think absolutely, if you need to do it now, no point wasting game weeks trying to get in position, and you'll just have to maybe just be so frugal with those transfers, limit your hits, free hit your way out of trouble if you can. But if you need to do it now to get players out, by all means, go ahead and wildcard. So, rounding up, Game Week 30, I think absolutely have to free hit. 27 looks like a good time for me to wildcard. I love that option at the moment. Bench boost, play it after wildcard. That could be Game Week 28. Triple captain, wait for that double game week. Liverpool Leeds, let's see when that's slotted in. That looks like the optimum time and the best possibility for BAM points for me. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, hit that subscribe button. Remember, tell me, what are you going to do? When are you going to use your trips? What strategy are you going to take on board? In the meantime, good luck. Speak to you soon.